Good evening, everyone. Welcome. We are live, Lemon Live at 5 Eastern in New York City. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it. We have a big show for you, so I'm going to get right to it, okay? Today caps up the first week. Yeah, really just 5 days of the second term, Donald Trump's second term. What a week it was. We saw a blizzard of executive orders. We actually saw blizzards, bad weather around the country, but a blizzard of executive orders, an unconstitutional attack on birthright citizenship. We saw ICE immigration raids sweep the country this week, and a sweeping pardon for violent criminal insurrectionists. People who were found guilty were pardoned by this president. And today, Trump revoked the security details for a number of his political rivals, enemies, foes, including John Bolton, Mike Pompeo, and Dr. Anthony Fauci. So I have a lot to talk about, as you can imagine, with this guest. Mehdi Hasan, the perfect guest here. Mehdi is the founder and editor-in-chief of Zeteo. Thank you, sir. Good to see you again. Thank you for coming on.
Good. Thanks for having me on, Don.
How are you doing after this raucous week?
Trying to keep bearings, trying to keep up with what's going on, trying to follow the news.
Your eyes and that sigh said it all.
It's everything we knew it would be on steroids.
And more. So look, I'm going to set the table. I'm going to start by at the beginning of the week. And I'm going to have Ezra Klein get us through this. And I'm going to put this up and then get your response. Here's Ezra.
Of Donald Trump's second term certainly revealed a president who intends to govern based on what he can get away with. Trump announced immediately that he was declaring birthright citizenship invalid, unilaterally changing the clear language of the Constitution and daring the courts to stop him. He's giving TikTok a reprieve from the clean language of the law so he can figure out a way to save it. He's pardoning the January 6 rioters. He's renaming the Gulf of Mexico to be the Gulf of America and Denali to be Mount McKinley. I was struck in Trump's inaugural address how almost everything mentioned was an executive action that Trump would take and the courts would decide to accept or reject. He talked little of laws he wanted to persuade Congress to pass. What interests Trump is what he can do alone.
Mehdi, I guess so. Just about an hour ago, I just got back. I was out on the street talking to people, interviewing folks, and they were all well aware of everything that Ezra just mentioned. And they were flummoxed, most of the folks I talked to, and they said, I don't recognize this country anymore.
It's an interesting point. What is the United States right now? Personally, I'm a little tired of we're better than this. This is not us. I mean, this is his second term. This is very much us.
Yeah, they voted for it.
This was us before Trump. This is us after Trump. This time, I can't even, you and I can't even say, well, he didn't win the popular vote. He won the popular vote very narrowly, but he won the popular vote. It is a problem. Harry Enton on your old network, CNN, said today, this is a very different Trump in the sense that the public is with him on a lot of these issues. He doesn't have much opposition. He's not as unpopular or hated as he was in 2017. People are not taking to the streets, doing women's marches or turning up at airports to stop his executive orders. People are tired, they're fatigued, or they're just on board now. And I think the most important point to make as journalists, to take that Ezra list, is a lot of that stuff is what he said he would do and is going beyond what he said he would do. So when some of us were warning, this is fascistic rhetoric, this is authoritarian rhetoric, this is extra constitutional rhetoric, we were told, stop being alarmist. It's just Donald Trump. Don't take him literally. Do you remember all that? Don't take him literally.
But take him seriously, yeah.
To be fair to Trump, he is literally doing what he said he would do, right? Yeah. That first day, I think there was a Time magazine did a little roundup, Don, this week, that 2/3 of Project 2025 stuff is going on. 2/3 of what he's done appeared in Project 2025. So when those of us that were saying Project 2025, and he was saying, well, that's not me. Don't blame Project 2025 on Trump. He's doing Project 2025. No surprise there. He, take the birthright citizenship. He's not just doing it on undocumented immigrants or illegals, as he calls them. We now discover from the text of the executive order, it's anyone who's not a permanent resident or a citizen. So if you're an H-1B worker, if you are a student, your kids born in America are no longer citizens. So we have to take him seriously, literally, and everything above.
Well, listen, I want to get to the whole, well, let's go. We're going to skip because I was going to get David French to talk to about taking away the security clearances. But since you brought up what's happening with ICE, let's go to ICE. What has been your reaction to these ICE raids when you see them, and you hear what he is doing? That it's not just people it's not just violent criminals.
Yeah. So I think we have to be careful when we talk about this. I've been, deferring to a lot of experts and activists and immigration reporters on this story, which is, on the one hand, we need to be crystal clear about that this is a very anti-immigrant, racist administration that wants to make America white again, wants to deport people and, terrorize people into self-deporting, to borrow a Mitt Romneyism. We have to be careful about some of the numbers that are being thrown around. Unfortunately, despite what Republicans would have us believe, I wish it were true what Republicans said, that Joe Biden it was soft on immigration, open border. None of that's true. Biden was very tough on immigration. In fact, the numbers of quote unquote illegal immigrants coming across the border is lower now than it was when Trump left office, right? So Biden didn't have an open border, did crack down, did deport a lot of people at the border. And so we have to be careful when we talk about, I saw someone saying, well, an American citizen was detained this week in Newark, New Jersey, as part of these raids, which is outrageous, of course. But it's not like that's never happened before. Sadly, that's happened before under Democratic presidents too. ICE has done that before, because ICE is a rogue agency. It's not about whether a Democrat or Republican is in charge. I saw Caroline Leavitt, the White House press secretary, saying today, she put a picture up saying deportation flights have begun. And, some liberals might go, oh my God, Joe Biden also did deportation flights. That's not new. So I think we have to be careful about getting mad about the really new and arbitrary and capricious stuff, and the stuff that's just, unfortunately, what always happens under every president. And we don't want to get to a point where we're playing Trump's game for him, where we're getting so excited about his anti-immigrant rhetoric that we're actually terrorizing our undocumented brothers and sisters who are staying indoors or not sending their kids to school. So we've got to strike that balance. For example, I just read a report, Don, before I came on your show, that in Chicago, an elementary school refused an ICE raid this morning at an elementary school that's 90% Latino. I don't know who they were trying to get, a teacher, a student. But again, we need to put that in context. I don't know how many elementary schools were attempted raids happened under Biden.
Then look, we talk about that on this show. You talk about it on your show. Then what is the disconnect? Why do American citizens, why are they so ill-informed about what you just talked about? Is it the media?
That's a $64 billion question. Why do we have so many low information voters in this country? You've seen the polls done. People who read the news, follow the news, try and keep themselves informed, tended to vote Democratic and Kamala Harris. People who didn't follow the news, don't follow events, tend to get their news from social media or YouTube or podcasts, voted for Donald Trump. Now, that's not about being elitist or looking down on anyone or judging people. It's just a fact, right? Low information voters were drawn to Donald Trump. And why wouldn't they? I mean, if they don't know about Donald Trump, then they're not going to judge him in the same way. I think the media made a huge mistake, Don. Our industry was so cocky about our reach and our influence that I would have people say to me, well, come on, it's all baked in. Everyone knows about Trump. We don't need to say that about Trump. Everyone knows. Well, actually, turns out, no. A lot of people don't know about Donald Trump. I just give one example. The Access Hollywood tape was, December 2015, Don? Yeah. That was a whole world away, right? Nearly 10 years ago, right? So think about a bunch of young people voting for the first time in 2024. They have no clue what the Access Hollywood tape is. They don't know that Donald Trump is on tape bragging about sexual assault. Democrats don't tell them because they're feckless and useless at messaging. And the media is overwhelmed with other Trump stories or has just moved on. So we already have a lot of low information voters in this country. Our education system's a joke. Our media is not up to the task. And then we have an opposition party, Don, that's very, very bad at communicating. And right now, Trump has just got elected. My colleague Prem Taka is about to publish a piece for us at Zeteo about how Democrats are helping him along the way. They gave him a victory on TikTok. They voted for the Laken Riley Act. It's good. It's a good time to be Donald Trump.
You're getting ahead of me with a lot of stuff that I want to talk about. But weren't the incident? No problem. Free-flowing conversation. But weren't the incidents of sort of these mass raids on by ICE agents, they were up this week. It's not like Joe Biden didn't do it, but not to these numbers. And so, so high profile, like on purpose. It's like make sure everyone sees these people and then go and embarrass them.
It's performative, right? It's performative. The numbers are not radically up. They're a little bit up, I believe, but it is performative. When you have the White House press secretary posting pictures of a deportation flight, those flights happened before. It's just that Jen Psaki or Karine Jean-Pierre didn't post pictures of it on their Twitter feeds because whatever you think of them, they weren't sociopaths. So I think this idea that you're trying to brag about human being cruel to brown undocumented votes, that is new. And it is part of the rhetoric. They know they can't deport 11 million people, Don. It can't be done. Physically, logistically, financially, cannot be done. Yeah. Right? So they know that their best bet is to terrorize people into just leaving the country on their own. That is definitely part of their strategy.
Plus, it would crash the economy. I spoke to a farmer today that we posted on our channel here, and he said there's no way if they did half of what they just a little bit of what they say they're going to do, it would basically decimate farmers, really affect the supply chain. We wouldn't get many groceries on our shelves and increase the price of groceries.
And you'll get the low information problem again, where you'll get Trump voters who are farmers being like, but I didn't know he was going to deport my workers. Remember the first time there was always stories about some guy going, I voted for Trump, but I didn't think he would be doing this to me. It's always I didn't know he'd eat my face, the leopard eating party. That meme. That's going to be done again and again. They interviewed an undocumented family recently. I saw the Post. I think it was the Washington Post, and they interviewed a guy he voted for Trump, even though his wife is undocumented and family members. He goes, yeah, but he's not coming after my family members. He's going after criminals. No, they'll be after your family very soon. And I think you're going to have a lot of buyer's regret, buyer's remorse. We saw this in term one. And again, if we had a half decent opposition party, they'd be ready to take advantage of that. But we clearly don't.
Yeah. I want to play this. I want to put this up. This is a New York Times headline today, and this is about Donald Trump really getting rid of the security, not security. I said security clearance earlier, but getting rid of the security details and protection, government protection for people that he deems to be his political foes, including Dr. Anthony Fauci, Mike Pompeo, and others. Dr. Anthony Fauci, who was one of the nation's top health officials for decades, had received death threats during the coronavirus pandemic. He has hired his own security detail. This is David French discussing. Watch this.
Happens to John Bolton, if something happens to him, in a just nation would immediately impeach and convict Trump for that. I mean, because this is nakedly political targeting of a political opponent. And so when you have a person who's willing to do that, willing to place his political opponents' lives at risk while pardoning people who engaged in gross acts of seditious violence against police officers on his behalf, what conclusion should we draw from that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What conclusion should we draw from that? But before you answer, let me play this because Donald Trump was asked about it today. Watch.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Do you feel partially responsible if something were to happen to, say, Dr. Fauci or John Bolton?
No. They all made a lot of money. They can hire their own security, too. All the people you're talking about, they can go out. I can give them some good numbers of very good security people. They can hire their own security. They all made a lot of money. Fauci made a lot of money. They all did. So if they, felt that strongly, I think that certainly I would not take responsibility.
So this is the man who flouted the emoluments clause his first time that he ran for president. He's doing it again with these meme coins and other things. He's profiting
other people making money.
The presidency. He is using the Secret Service, making them work overtime, spending Americans' money by spending their time between Washington, D.C. and Mar-a-Lago down in Palm Beach, Florida. And he has nerve to talk about they can afford their own security details. Isn't he supposed to be a billionaire? Perhaps he should hire his own security people if he really wants to save the American people some money.
There were so many revealing moments in that just short clip with Trump. There's so many different angles every time he opens his mouth. I think he's clearly bitter about the fact that they made any money, and I don't know what money they've made, but he's obsessed with what other people make, right? He's always had that chip on his shoulder, even though he's supposed to be a billionaire. I can't even say he's not a billionaire anymore because apparently, according to his shitcoin, he's worth billions of dollars now. So he may actually be a billionaire for once, thanks to the presidency and his crypto grift. Who knows? But he's bothered when other people make money. He's bothered when other people do well. He's obsessed with other people's careers. So that came out there. He's never going to take responsibility for anything in life, right? He's never, ever taken responsibility. I followed the man for over 10 years. I cannot think of it any time he's ever taken responsibility for anything. He's clearly not going to take responsibility for anyone getting hurt. But the key to that entire conversation, and I don't know which reporter asked the question, it's not about do you take responsibility? It's a crap question with respect to who that reporter was. The question is not do you take responsibility, because he's going to say no. The question is, when you release people from prison who are your supporters and in prison for violent acts that we all saw with our 2 eyes on camera, when you release them from prison and then remove security from people they hate, are you not inciting more violence?
Right.
Is that not incitement? That is the key point here, right? Everything Trump does, he's the master of what's called stochastic terrorism, right? He inspires acts of violence through his rhetoric, through his actions, but not in a way that's obvious. He doesn't say, hey, you, Mr. A, go kill Mr. B. That's not how he operates. But he does say, hey, I was robbed. You were robbed. Go fight like hell at the Capitol. Hey, but I said do it in a loving way. So this is who he is. This is the timing of what he's doing. Michael Fanone, who you know better than I do, police officer who was attacked by the crowd on January 6, 2021, is having to get restraining orders against some of the people who have come out of prison. Some of the people who've come out of prison, their own family members told Erin Burnett this week that they're having to move house and buy a gun because they're afraid that people they reported to the authorities, one kid who reported his dad to the FBI is now worried that his dad's going to come after him, right? These are the people he's released. So when you take security away from Fauci, it's not done in a vacuum. It's not in abstract. There is a direct correlation. John Bolton, allegedly, there's an Iranian threat against him. I have no idea whether that's true or not. But Fauci's different. The people who want to kill Fauci are Trump's own supporters. That is the key point. And by the way, I think John Bolton should be in a prison in The Hague for his role in the Iraq invasion. But I also don't think that Trump should be helping to get him killed in an assassination. And I think if he does that, David French is being very mild and saying he should just be impeached and convicted. The man should be locked up.
That's going to say, what do you think, what should happen to him if any of these people are harmed or, for God forbid, loses their lives?
I think we're through the looking glass now, Don. God forbid Anthony Fauci is killed tomorrow. Nothing will happen to Donald Trump. We're past that. He's gotten away with everything. January 6th was the ultimate moment, right? That was the moment where it was done. He was done. Kevin McCarthy, Mitch McConnell, his own son, Fox host, they'd all turned on him. The Republican Party had turned on him. Every front page in the country turned on him. He was done, apparently. We all saw what he did with our own 2 eyes. And yet here he is, 4 years later, back in the same place, returned to the scene of the crime to be sworn in as president on Monday, and then promptly released not just violent criminals who attacked the police, his violent criminals. This is the key point. When I had arguments with people about fascism, Don, I came on your show and I talked about fascism. People say, oh, it's not fascism, it's exaggeration. It's not fascism. And one of the arguments used to be, he can't be a fascist, because one of the things you need to do to be a fascist is have a street movement, a violent street movement that operates in a paramilitary, extra-governmental fashion on your behalf. Well, he had one on January the 6th. They put them in prison, and now he's put them back on the streets. He's put Stuart Rhodes and Enrico Tarrio, the head of the Proud Boys, and the Oath Keepers, who were sentenced for seditious conspiracy, both with terrorism enhancements, are now either commuted or pardoned.
Can we talk about, let's talk about this possible rift between Elon Musk and Donald Trump. Did you see the Politico reporting this morning? I'm sure you have. Yes?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just going to read some of it just so our viewers know. Some of President Donald Trump's key aides and allies are furious with Elon Musk for publicly trashing his $500 billion artificial intelligence mega deal. A White House official said that Musk very much got over his skis when the tech tycoon launched a day-long screed against the AI project. One Trump ally said Musk abused his closeness to the president. Another Republican close to the White House went further, saying that Trump's staff is furious over Musk using his massive social media platform to pour cold water on the infrastructure deal that Trump called tremendous and monumental just a day prior. What's going on here, Mehdi?
What's going on is what some of us predicted would happen. And on the eve of the inauguration, someone said to me, how are we going to survive 5 years? I said, the only way we survive 5 years is if they all fight with each other, which they will. Our only hope at getting through these 4 years is the fact that Trump world is a treacherous, backstabbing, narcissistic, thin-skinned, venomous group of people. And Musk and Trump at the top of that, both of them are very similar in that way. They're both narcissists, insecure, short-tempered, not loyal to anyone but themselves. So putting them together is a volatile combination. And I remember when Steve Bannon was in the White House in the first term, as you do, and SNL did that famous skit of him as the Grim Reaper sitting at the big Oval Office table while Donald Trump sat at the kiddies table, the Alec Baldwin figure. A few months later, Steve Bannon was gone, right? That bothers Donald Trump. He doesn't like to share power or attention with anyone. You know, Go on.
But Steve Bannon doesn't have, I forget how many, 200, 400
Exactly.
billion dollars.
Musk is in a much more powerful situation. And in a way, Trump has met his match, right? He's met someone who's richer than him. He's met someone who has a bigger platform than he does. Elon Musk has more followers than Donald Trump does on Twitter, right? That in itself gives him a power. He has his own cult movement. Trump's all about personality cults. Musk has a personality cult, a bunch of weirdos who worship him. And that is a problem. And in the reporting that you cited, they also mentioned that Trump is frustrated because he has no leverage over Musk, right? Musk gave him money, not the other way around. Musk gave him a profile, not the other way around. And, you know, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. I think that people who don't like either Musk or Trump should be encouraging the rift, obviously. It's good if they're rowing with each other because, as I say, they'll take their eyes off the rest of us. And, you know, you saw Trump already joking about, oh, he's always at Mar-a-Lago, you know, joking about, oh, he can't be president because he's not born here. He's obviously bothered by the attention Elon Musk has had. Musk, during the transition period while Trump was playing golf at Mar-a-Lago, Musk was effectively already shadow president-elect running the government. He was the guy who stopped the spending bill. He was the guy who undermined policy on H-1Bs and beat up Steve Bannon rhetorically on that subject. Now AI, he hates Sam Altman. I don't know if you saw the clip of Trump yesterday when he was asked about Musk undermining him. He said, no, he just hates one of the guys involved in the project. And I hate a lot of people too. It's like, where are we? In elementary school, middle school? I mean, this is absurd.
Karen White in the comments said, Trump will never get rid of Musk. And then there's Angela Calloway who says they will eat their own before the midterms. Who's right in this?
Yeah, with respect to Karen, I think she's wrong. I think they could easily fall out tomorrow. Poor old Vivek Ramaswamy didn't even make it to January 20th before he.
Oh my gosh, Vivek Ramaswamy found out that he wasn't white.
Vivek Ramaswamy found out that he was the DEI hire at Doge. So it got, backfired. That did. Poor old Vivek, who you and I have both had some very interesting interactions with.
I tried to warn people 2 years ago, and hey, look
he's
what
running
happened.
for governor of Ohio now. He's running for governor of Ohio. Apparently, let's see what happens next. But look, he's gone. Look, there's no scenario in which Musk and Trump are able to coexist for 4 years. I mean, I'm saying it here on the Don Lemon Show, 5:30 p.m. Friday, January 24th. Hold me to it. There is no way that Elon Musk is still hanging around with Donald Trump in 4 years, maybe even 2 years. They are going to fall out because the nature of their views, the nature of their egos, the nature of their respective supporters. There's no doubt in my mind. I mean, even Trump, I would say this to your viewers who are not Trump fans. A lot of people are dejected right now because Trump seems to be at the height of his powers, right? His polling is better than it's ever been. He's got fewer opponents. He controls the House. He controls the Senate. He controls the Supreme Court, the DOJ, the FBI. The Democrats are weak and feckless and leaderless. But, pride before a fall. Every politician at the peak of their powers eventually heads downwards. I'm old enough to remember George W. Bush, after 9/11, had 90% approval ratings. People thought he was untouchable. He left office as the most unpopular president of our lifetime.
You're channeling me. Either you watch the show or we just have the exact same thoughts. I said that on my morning live, pride before the fall. And I said, but it's going to take the fall's going to take a while. It's not going to be immediate. I also said that karma never forgets your address. Okay, you mentioned Democrats, because I think we're in the same place on this. I think Democrats have been feckless.
Yes.
And there's probably a stronger word that I could use for that. I understand that this is the MAGA folks, the folks who voted for Donald Trump and supported it, but in many ways, it's also the Democrats' fault, because I think they think it's like 1997 all over again, and that's the fight that they're in. But I just want to play, since I haven't seen you since the election, I've spoken to you. Where do Democrats go from here? This is AOC. She did a great commentary on with Jon Stewart on the Jon Stewart podcast. Watch.
I believe that we need to be a party of brawlers for the working class.
There you go.
And we have turned into a party that caters to almost people who call themselves upper middle class, but they're actually like kind of wealthy.
You're talking about me now, aren't you?
No, you're not middle class at all.
No, I meant wealthy. That's what I meant.
We've been chasing this affluent group and making all of these little concessions and hoping that working people don't notice.
How does that manifest? If you could give us an example of what those concessions might look like. Because in my mind, look, one of the biggest issues in my mind is over the last 40 or 50 years, labor has been devalued and capital has been elevated. So investment and finance is king and labor is in many ways devalued. So in what way have you seen those kinds of moves made?
Yeah, I mean, I think the most famous one that comes to mind is Kirsten Sinema doing her little curtsy when she voted down the $15 minimum wage.
Yeah.
But it wasn't just her. That was the most public expression of it. But there were a bunch of Democrats in the Senate behind her that also voted it down. People are struggling so much right now. $15 an hour is nothing. The day that the news came out that I got assigned to Energy and Commerce, my staff's email boxes blew up with lobbyists, just tons of lobbyists, just flooding our emails.
Okay.
And
so she,
is
you know, and then she goes on to talk about all the machinations or whatever that happens in Washington, D.C. As I was out probably an hour and a half ago now speaking to folks, I didn't even bring it up. They brought up, these are just citizens out on the street, Americans saying, and Democrats, do something. Why are you being so shy? Why are you being so kind? Why do you think that you have to be nice when the other side is not being nice? Where do Democrats go from here?
So I tweeted earlier, and I'll see if I still have it here because I literally,
Take your time.
So More Perfect Union, which is a working class group set up by Fez Shacker, former Bernie guy. They've done a lot on Amazon protests, labor strikes. They tweeted out this statistic. The bottom 50% of households in America hold 2.4% of US wealth. The top 1% control 42% of the wealth. And I tweeted, and it's had 16K likes, run on this, Dems, just run on this. Right? We saw the enemy. We saw the opposition. We saw the villains, right? They made it very easy for us. They lined up at the inauguration. They all sat in a row. Zuckerberg, Musk, Bezos. They were there. The 3 of the 5 richest men were sitting on stage. The fourth, a French dude, was in the crowd, right? They are there for the taking. Look at the polling that's out today. Americans don't want billionaires running the government. They don't want a government of the billionaire, by the billionaire, for the billionaire. There is an easy strategy for Democrats. The problem is Democrats are also funded partly by billionaires. Democrats don't want to pick fights with billionaires. On his way out the door, Joe Biden gave a Presidential Medal of Freedom to George Soros, a big billionaire donor. So their messaging, as AOC and others point out, is mixed up here, because they can't take the clean line that actually a lot of the public want. They want that populist message. They lean towards Trump, a lot of swing voters, because even though he's a fraud and a con man and a grifter and a convicted criminal, he at least pretends. He pretends to be anti the establishment. He pretends he's going to drain the swamp. He pretends he's going to be anti-war. Democrats don't even pretend. And that is a fundamental problem. If you're campaigning with Mark Cuban and Liz Cheney instead of with Sean Fain or Lena Khan from the Federal Trade Commission, that sends a message to whose side you're on. So I do think they need to be doing a lot more of that, but more than just the economic platform. Look, I think Bernie and all these folks are right about the economic platform. That's where my politics are. But it's not enough. The key line in that AOC interview that you just played is, we have to be brawlers. Right? People want fighters. It's not about whether you're left or right. Right? I happen to be on the left, but I would support a Democrat who is a center-right Democrat if he had some fight in him. Right?
Yeah.
For me, the fight is much more important than anything.
And the authenticity. Exactly. One more thing because I'm gonna let you go. I know you have another thing to do. It's also, what about the yucking it up? You saw them at the.
I saw your clip on that, Don, and you were going mad about it, and I'm with you.
What they've been calling them fascists and all these things for months and years, if not months, and that you can't trust them. And then so they're yucking it up. And then you have, them at the inauguration. I don't know, should they have even attended the inauguration?
No, I'm with Ilhan Omar, who said last night on CNN, what the hell were they doing there? Why you give it? Oh, it's about norms. Amy Klobuchar giggling as he signs executive orders. It was killing me. Barack Obama at the funeral of Jimmy Carter, yucking it up with Trump. It was just, and it just undermines those of us who are genuinely worried about fascism and authoritarianism. Makes us look like idiots, as you say, because Joe Biden was saying he's a fascist. Kamala Harris said he's a fascist. And then they're all fine with him. That doesn't make any sense. The right wingers, of course, they're going to jump on it and say, you hypocrites. I thought he was Hitler. Why are you hanging out with him? Why are you praising him? Joe Biden welcomed him to the White House saying, welcome home. Welcome home to an insurrectionist who tried to overturn Joe Biden's election victory. Kill me now.
I didn't watch the inauguration, but when I saw that clip, because we were talking about on the show, I almost like wanted to just, I can't say it here.
You know what? I think this is gonna cost the Democrats in the long run. And I know I'm not one of these people who says Michelle Obama will be president. I know she hates politics and doesn't want to run for office. But Michelle Obama 2028, she didn't show up. She had the self-respect not to show up to the Trump inauguration.
At least we think
on his own.
At least we think that's why, because there are other rumors out there.
There are other rumors out there, but it
just
doesn't matter. Well, let me give you a better example then. AOC was asked,
Yeah.
are you going? And she said, I don't celebrate rapists.
Yep.
Was her right? And she didn't show up. I think that's going to, when there's a presidential primary process for the Democrats in 28, I think a lot of this stuff is going to be relitigated.
Do you recognize this next person? Roll it real quick, Andy.
Republicans love to revel in these basic indignities of Harris and Biden. I'm not saying that Democrats should copy them. What I am saying, though, is that they are really risking their own credibility when they normalize Trump, when they go to the inauguration, when they lavish him with praise. When Amy Klobuchar at his inaugural lunch yesterday is cozying up with him.
Yep. So I think we know where he's going.
There is
He's
no
going
such
the same
thing
way that you
as
went. Do you
Schrodinger's
recognize that guy?
I do recognize that guy.
Trump
Peter
cannot
Lopez
at the
is
same
one of the rising
time
stars
both
in U.S. media, and he has one thing in common. He has two of the greatest mentors an American journalist could ever wish for. His mentors are two hosts on TV, on cable, and now on YouTube. He's worked for both of them. One
He's lucky.
is Donald Lemon. The other is Mehdi Hasan. Peter is a former producer of ours, and he's brilliant.
Did you call me Donald?
I did call you Donald Lemon.
I'm not Donald. I've never been
certainly
so
not now.
grateful and
Certainly
happy.
not now, you Donald.
I've never. No, I'm not
You've
Donald.
never,
I'm
certainly not now.
Yeah, never been. But that is.
Look, I texted Peter, who's a producer on your show now, was a producer on mine at MSNBC. I texted him after that Guardian piece, and I said, you got to come write for Zeteo as well, because that piece was every word. It was one of the, sometimes done, you read a piece, you go, every word you nod, and you go, oh, this is what I would have said, but he's saying it better than me. That piece is spot on. It's about picking a fight with the Republicans. It's about not rolling over. It's about learning to fight fire with fire. It's about not enabling these people in the name of bipartisan. What did Chuck Schumer say the other day? I think we've got the message. The American people want bipartisanship. No, that is not the message. That's a bullshit message. They want people who stand up for them, have an identity, and can take the fight on their behalf. That is what they want, right? And unfortunately, Democrats will always be in this weird defensive posture, always apologizing and rolling over for Republicans. Look at the Lake and Riley Act. How many Democrats voted for that ridiculous Republican anti-immigrant prop?
Before you go, I saw a very prominent Democratic lawmaker who usually has a fight, who I really respect, and he was asked a question about the pardoning the insurrectionists, and he said, well, we need to talk to our great senator from such and such, like Republican accountability. And I was like, oh my God, you must be kidding me. They don't care. And so why are you acting as if this is normal? It's not normal.
100%. That is the key. And I can't believe we had to say this for 4 years, from 2017 to 2021. And now we have to do the same thing again for people who are just heads in the sand.
Mehdi Hasan, Zeteo, the great Mehdi Hasan. Hey, we always appreciate you coming on the show.
Thank you so much. Great conversation. Appreciate it. I'd love to come back.
Doing such great work. Okay. Thank you, Mehdi. We'll see you soon.
Thanks.
Appreciate it. Okay. So listen, that was producer Peter that we were talking about. And we didn't play the whole thing because Peter was basically saying what we have been saying as well. Peter wrote that great piece for The Guardian, which we profiled earlier in the week as well. So, yeah. What do you think? What do you think of what Mehdi had to say about any of it? About all of it? I want to know what you think, because again, this is not normal. I believe that Democrats are sitting there pretending that it is somehow normal. Right, Sandra Sharif? Thank you, Mehdi. Where do we go from here? Says Sunshine. Stronger. You have to be stronger. Democrats are, fortunately or unfortunately, the only party that is at least trying to, in some way. I don't think they're doing a great job of it, of holding the democracy together and at least abiding by our political norms, our institutional norms. But they are fighting a fight, I believe, the way that they're fighting, as Peter always says, they're bringing a butter knife to a bazooka fight. And that is 100% true. And no, this is not normal, says Progressively Independent. Jasmine Crockett and AOC are both great, and we need more of that. That's what Maria A. is saying. Mehdi was right on, says Cheryl Gibson. We need Bernie, says Redbird 72. Yes, but we also need some younger folks as well. And we do love Mehdi. Mehdi is a very strong and outspoken voice. And, Mehdi has to go do something else. I want to talk to him about Gaza, whether he thinks that, that costs the Democrats in some way. But I kept him over his allotted time, and I'm so glad that he could join us. A lot of Democrats are leaving for independent. I left for independent a long time ago. Marsha, aka Leopard Lady, thank you. Thank you. Great conversation. I appreciate it. Guys, make sure you hit the thumbs up. And if you're joining us on TikTok, make sure you smash the screen, hit the hearts. The Dems are going down the wrong path, says Linda Ferker. Yes, I agree. So make sure you hit the thumbs up. It's important. Make sure you like and subscribe. Our channel is growing rapidly. It's amazing. But we need you to hit that thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. If you're not a subscriber, you could be a member. I've noticed that some people are members, but they're not subscribers. So the right at the bottom, see where under the thing where it says, that this from Architect Heather. I'm a little bit behind because I'm on the feed, Architect Heaven. And then it's under hoarding money. There's a subscribe button right under there. You can hit it. But Architect Heather, thank you for your support of independent media. He said, the enemy is greed. Many who make a lot of money give a lot of it away. It's who is hoarding money like dragons who are at conflict with the people. Thank you for that. I agree. Now, look, again, I want you guys to enjoy your experience on this channel. And I want you guys to be a part of this. I want to profile and amplify your thoughts and what you would like and what you think. Debbie Bermudez gifted $1 Lemon membership. Thank you, because someone gets to become, wait, Beth Collier just gifted 20 memberships. Beth, thank you. Because of Beth's generosity, 20 people get to be members. Bridget of Old says, I am registered, but I'm an independent. Yeah, I'm an independent as well. Me too, Don, says Michelle Turner. Moon Goddess gifted $1 Lemon membership. Thank you so much for doing that. I left the Republican Party and went all in for the Democrats, not hanging out in no man's land for this girl. Not my style, says Karen White. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. What do we do now? Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? I think we need to stop bullshitting around, stop being pacifists and fight. We need to get our country back, says Miss A. Renee Moore. I have been saying that. Do you guys not hear me saying that? And as I've been telling you guys, look, I can see around corners. I saw the third term thing happening. I saw the Joe Biden thing, them getting rid of him on the ticket. There are a number of things that I saw. And some of you didn't agree with me with, but here's the thing, we can disagree. That's the whole point. If you disagree with me, is when we have our Lemon Legends on, when they're on the screen, and some of the folks who are here in the comments, some of just the Lemon Heads, and some of the folks who are not subscribers, you can disagree with me, and I'll read it, and I'll talk about it. There was someone who disagreed with me earlier in the week when they said, hey, you went on X, and we didn't like that. Why did you do it? Aren't you being hypocritical? And I explained my position. They disagree with me. Makia says, Dems, if you can put Makia back up, that would be great. Oh, I'm on a different feed. But put Makia back up. I want to know what Makia says, if you can find it. Are Dems even listening? That is a very good question. Are Dems even listening? Shauna Foberg, I don't think they are listening. I think that they still think that they have to be so respectable and so, classy, and they got to get down there and fight. Bob Cratchit, the Democrats will not be able to stop this crazy train. Maybe you're right. Go Vic, Go Adventures. Welcome to the Lemonation. Thank you for becoming a YouTube member. We appreciate your support. We're so glad that you're here. We need to stay active, says Ms. McPherson, in talking to one another concerning politics and laws. You can't fight without knowledge. I agree, Ms. McPherson. And thank you for your support. Again, make sure that you're a subscriber. Even though you're a member, you may not be a subscriber. And if you're a subscriber, we would love for you to become a member. The memberships are extremely affordable. Your comments get amplified. They get put up here on the screen. And if you're looking in the chat, the folks who are green in the chat, those are our members. Francis Skaggs, CCLS, says, on the federal level, it always comes down to two parties. At the local level where I live, there are more parties that have a chance to win. Yes, right now, national politics, the Republicans are the MAGA folks are in the White House now. Get to your local level and make a difference where you can make a difference. Patsy B. Mo 2024. The older Dems are not passing the torch. They are not. They are too much into the status call right on, which is why a lot of them are smiling in Trump's face they've made too much money and they're comfortable. They are comfortable because they think that they are the only game in town, right? Rocio Juarez says, please have Hakeem Jeffries on your show for him to see our messages and where the party is. I will invite him on. If you guys, why don't you guys call his office and say, hey, Hakeem Jeffries, we want you to be on the Don Lemon show. Can you guys do that for me? Call his office. You can call, it's listed. Bunny Scoggins, thank you for gifting 10 memberships. Because of your generosity, 10 people get to become members of the Lemon Nation. But why don't you guys do that? Bunny Scoggins gifted 10 memberships. Carla Williams became a member. Thank you. Vegas Brent gifted 20 memberships. Thank you for that. Wow, you guys are amazing. Amazing. I said, go Vice, go. I said that Beth Collier gifted 20 memberships. I mean, you guys are just fantastic. Thank you so much. So let's get into a different part of the show. And I just want you, I'm not going to say much about this. Okay, Cindy Reiser, welcome. So you guys saw the inauguration. Well, I'm sure a lot of you did not watch the inauguration, but you saw the highlights, right? And there was a moment that caught people there. And it was this moment. Watch.
And I just want to say thank you for making it happen. Thank you.
Okay. And then he turned around and did it again. So he did it twice. Okay. And then he said, I put my heart out to you. And then the ADL, which is the Anti-Defamation League, they put out a statement basically saying it's a sensitive time. I think that's what they said. We are in this is a delicate moment. It's a new day, and yet so many are on edge. Our politics are inflamed, and social media only adds to the anxiety. It seems that Elon Musk made an awkward gesture in a moment of enthusiasm, not a Nazi salute. But again, we appreciate that people are on edge. In this moment, all sides should give one another a bit of grace, perhaps even the benefit of the doubt, and take a breath. This is a new beginning. Let's hope for healing and work toward unity and work toward unity in the months and years ahead. The benefit of the doubt. So the ADL, which used to be, people ask me what the ADL is, it's the Anti-Defamation League. It used to be the JDL, which is a Jewish Defense League. Okay. And so then after they put that out, Elon Musk tweeted this. Do we have it? Nope, we'll get it. So Elon Musk tweeted out some jokes on his platform. And we got it. Yes, no, maybe so. Working on it. I can wait. We do not. Can we get it? We're working on it. Okay, let me know when you have it. And then I'll talk to some of the folks there because I want you guys to see. So then he tweets, just let me know because I am on the YouTube screen. So I'm not looking. You guys holler when you have it. Tawana Manson, I gifted earlier. Thank you for gifting. Okay. We appreciate that. Let's see who else we have here. Who's talking here? Don, not a member. I lost it. It's easy for me to see the members and find them because they're in green. He said, someone said he was born in South Africa and his father became wealthy with mining and he knew who was hurt by it. And we know who was hurt by that business. What jokes? Brittany Nicole, we're working on the jokes. I was hoping I dreamt that, says Paul Sharkey Mannion. Take your time, says Ron Foster. We're taking my time. We're cool. It's Friday. It's Friday evening. The entire world saw that, says Linda G. Nita says, oh, I'm not reading. That it was inappropriate. And I believe on the spectrum, maybe, yeah, they did say that there was something about neurodivergent. Again, that's what the reporting is. Yeah, that's what the reporting is. And so they said grace. Vegas Brent, thank you so much. No grace, no grace. It's a disgrace, says someone else in the chats. Yep, and he now they know. Some folks are saying he knew exactly what he was doing. Let me know when we have it. Anything yet, Bueller, producers? We don't have it?
We just need to get them in the system. It takes a little while for images. So
It's just one screen that has all of them on it.
Yeah, we have that. We're just turning it into an MP4 so it'll actually play.
All right. Kim P said, big excuse. Angela Porter says it's just the beginning. Maria Rogers, welcome to the Elimination. Canadian American, welcome to the Elimination. Cheryl Jones, welcome to the Elimination. Destiny for Greatness, welcome to the Elimination. Is that Limbic Love, welcome to the Elimination. Us, Biggest Brent, and 20. Okay, so welcome and thank you. All right, we're still working on it. But our members ain't got all day. They got stuff to do this evening. Nothing yet. Okay, so when we do this, I'm going to start from the beginning, team. I'm going to show it so that it is concise so that people will know what we're talking about. So we're going to start from the gesture, then we're going to go to the ADL's initial response, then we'll go to the second tweet of jokes, and then we'll go to the ADL's second response. Okay? Let me know. Anyways, so it's Friday. Look, Friday and shit happens. Let's put it that way. No, it's Friday, says Cheryl Jones. It is Friday. And I'm going to go have, when we're done here, a Peroni. Yep, that's what I'm going to do.
Don, I'll just share my screen so you can see the tweets.
Okay. So let's start from the beginning. So at the inauguration, Elon Musk did this.
It happened. Thank you.
So there, he did it twice, and he said he was giving his heart or whatever. The ADL put out this statement. Saying that this is a delicate moment. It's a new day. Many are on edge. Saying that it was an awkward gesture and a moment of enthusiasm, that it was not a Nazi salute. But again, we appreciate that people are on edge. It's time that we give all sides a bit of grace, even the benefit of the doubt. Take a breath. New beginning. Healing and work toward unity in the months or years ahead. And then after they did that, Elon Musk tweeted this. So, don't say Hess to Nazi accusations. Some people will gerbil anything down. Stop goring your enemies. His pronouns would have been he, Himmler, but you did Nazi that coming. And then a smiley face. Okay. And then the ADL put out this statement after that. Remember their first statement. Making inappropriate and highly offensive jokes that trivialize the Holocaust only serve to minimize the evil and inhumanity of Nazi crimes, denigrate the suffering of both victims and survivors, and insult the memory of the 6 million Jews murdered in the Shoah. That's Jonathan Greenblatt, the head of the ADL. We've said it hundreds of times before, and we will say it again. The Holocaust was a singularly evil event, and it is inappropriate and offensive to make light of it. Now, I wanted to put that in context. I wanted to make sure that we got it because I want to be as accurate and as clear and as fair on this reporting as possible. And so we'll take our time and we'll do it because we're not in a rush here. We don't have to rush to commercial breaks. And Kyoko is not a member. Come on, become a member, Kyoko. She says, now they're offended. Now they're offended. So, you guys, what do you think? That's all I'll say. What do you think? Benefit of the doubt is what they asked for. And then here we are. Marga, thank you for your donation of gifting, 5 people memberships. So now someone said something that we have been talking about. Okay, Stephanie is not a member, but Stephanie, this is what has been going on among my friend group. It's not really about Musk. It's not about that. But this is Stephanie, you hit the nail on the head, okay? They took Whoopi off the air for a lot less. Most people's criticism are of the ADL. Most people's criticism that I know are of the ADL. And they were, by the initial response, they were like, okay. Roquios Juarez says, the ADL was 100% wrong in their first message. We owe them no grace. Jody Chase says, giving them the benefit of the doubt was the problem the first time around. That's what the conversation has been. Why? What is it? What is why? Why? Amanda Belcher, I think you have just summed up the whole week in what we say. None of this is normal. None of this is normal. Maria Maniscalco says, they did it to you. Maria, I lure you. Yes, they did. I wonder why. And Mehdi as well. I wonder why. We've been talking about the whole media of it this week. As my mom always says, I wonder what this is. That's one of her favorite sayings. I wonder what this is. ADL needs to step up and apologize, says happy enough. I wonder what this is. Welcome, Melissa McDermott, to the Elimination. I appreciate it. And Bob Cratchit says, and Jim Acosta. Nancy says, damn, Don. Yeah. Someone said, thank you for leaning into Musk. I'm reporting the news. As I said, this is not, I'm not saying anything about him. I said among my friend group and peers, they're wondering more about the ADL. That's where the conversation is. Like what, why with this particular issue, there was grace, blah, 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 blah. And then all of a sudden, there's a different story. Like what changed? Should there, I think a perfectly legitimate question is, should there be grace around those jokes? Should there be grace around that tweet? Should there be grace around that tweet? Can you interview your mom, says Deborah Vet. Ooh, y'all don't want that heat on here. My gosh, no, oh, Lord. Maybe. It's Friday. Can you guys get out and enjoy your Friday? Can you guys make sure you hit the thumbs up? Make sure you hit the like. Make sure you subscribe to our stuff, because independent media in this moment is so important, is more important than at any other moment in our history, that I believe. Hinak Davila, welcome to the Elimination. Twinkie67, thank you for your generous support of independent media. I am taking Malcolm X approach by any means necessary. Twinkie67, you heard me say that yesterday. Come on now, tell me you're channeling me. I said that was the energy that I'm taking into 2025. Did you guys not hear me say that? Twinkie, if so, then we're mind melding. Bring my mom. Yes, I will. Most Democrats have stopped listening to the people. They get in Congress and enrich themselves just like the Republicans. They do not want to change the status quo because they would lose money. Steve Powell, thank you. We can criticize the Democrats here. Kimmy, welcome to the Elimination. Steve Powell, thank you for your support. Beth Collier, thank you for gifting. Vegas Brent, all of you, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Okay, anything else you guys want me to talk about before we get out the door? Before we head out, the doors of the church are open. Anybody want to join the church? Want to join the Elimination, the Lemon Movement? So I have some news for you guys. We had a merch meeting today. Oh, shoot. And I had some samples. We had a merch meeting today, and it's coming. What are you guys going to do? Your heads are going to pop off one day when I show up on this show with either a hoodie or a really cool coffee mug. What are you guys going to do then if I show up with some cool stuff? So I have a merch alert. Merch is coming, okay? It's coming. It's going to take a while, but it is coming. I'm trying to see if I can find just a couple of examples to show you just a little bit, just to give you a little bit of a taste of some of the stuff. I don't know what I did with it because let me see. Okay, guys, can you bear with me? So I know this is unusual, unorthodox. Unorthodox. So let's see. I'm trying to find it. Okay. There we go. Here we go. Okay. So some of the merch. I'm just going to show it here. Let me put it up right here so you guys can see. You ready? Are you guys ready? Are you looking? Okay. That is a bumper sticker. Hey, I'm a lemon head. I can't hear you honking. I'm listening to Don Lemon. That's possible for a hat. We can change the colors or whatever you like. There we go. Okay. These are only samples. Sticker, you can put on your luggage. You can stick it on whatever you want. Briefcase, notebook, back of your cell phone. Okay. Now what do you think of this one? Because I was like, it's like Lemon Nation. Do you like that? Okay, that's one. And then there's this one. The Lemon Live. Right? It says, I'm watching Lemon Live at 5. I'm a lemon head. That's what that one says. And then there is this one that I think I really like this one. One that says I'm Lemon Live at 5, I'm a lemon head. But it's not like a crop. This is like for dudes. This is for guys, right? I mean, look, guys, if you want to wear a crop top, you can. That's your business. I might wear it if I get some abs for this summer. Anyways, and then, my absolute favorite. You guys ready for this one? You're going to love it. Look at that. Lemon Live with Don Lemon. This one gives holiday vibes. I don't know if you like this one, but that one's, a little very summery. And then, this one, Elimination. These are the samples. And then, of course, there's this one. These are all possibilities that you will get. So and then, of course, we saw the mugs yesterday. A couple of the mugs that are possibilities. And then there were more mug possibilities that we had. I may have a picture of those. I don't know. Anyway, there's more. There was a black mug that everybody seemed to like, so we're working on that. Okay. So I don't know because I had it up when I have up the live feed. Okay. Wow. I like that awesomeness. I like the crop tops. Looks like a Florida license plate. Don Don hasn't been talking about the news of the day for 3 days. You haven't been watching Daniel and Tuthill. Here's what we don't do, Daniel. Come on. Be fair. We don't over-index on things that don't need to be. We just don't need to like cover every single little bit of thing that's happening. We pick the big stuff, the stuff that's important. You need a t-shirt that says "Don't fall for the okie doke," says Shelly, for real. How about a Therms? Need long sleeve shirts? Yeah, these are just samples, guys. We're going to get some stuff. Hot, cold bottle. Oh my gosh. No crop tops for me. Yellow hoodie. We're working on hoodies. I just want you guys to know that we are working on merch because you have been asking. Hoodie. Yes, bumper sticker. Love it. Love the yellow mugs. Got it. Okay, guys, that's it. Sweatshirts and hoodies. All right, are we cool now? Can we all go enjoy our Friday night and have some fun? Make sure you hit the thumbs up before you head out. I didn't even hit my own thumbs up. Okay, so make sure you do that. And if you want to become a member, it's at the top of the chat. I love you guys. More than likely, I will do a little impromptu chat tomorrow where we just talk about things. It's just me. My producers probably won't be on, right? Yeah. And so I will see you tomorrow. Make sure you click on the other stuff that's on our channel. Our media talk this morning's live was fantastic. But the media talk yesterday with Oliver Darcy, I want more people to tune into that. Angela Wilson, welcome to the Elimination. Adrian Joseph, Gate to the Facts, welcome to the Elimination. Adrian, you're very handsome, Adrian. You kind of look like, I'm just going to be honest. Has anybody ever told you look like Luigi? That's a compliment, by the way. Very handsome. Mari, thank you. Yes, we would. Let's have a conversation with mom. I love how you put conversation with mom on there. Morgan Page, this was the same ADL that lobbied to ban TikTok after deciding it was anti-Semitic to say free Gaza. Okay, wow. Morgan Page. Well, you say how you really feel, huh? Okay, guys. My dogs are barking, which means they are hungry. I love you for watching. I'll see you later. Thanks, everyone, for watching. Your support means the world to us. So make sure you hit the like button and you subscribe to our channel to make sure that you never, ever miss a video. We're live every day, 10 a.m. Eastern Time. We drop even more content at 2 p.m. Eastern and 5 p.m. Eastern. And if you want more Don Lemon Show content, we'd love for you to become a member of the Lemon community, where you will receive access to special community posts. You'll get exclusive content and members-only live shows. So head over to our channel page or click the join button on this video. Again, thank you for watching. We appreciate your love and your support, and we will see you next time.